Crypto is about technology, freedom, and the future of finance. But over the last 10 years, it has also become a perfect environment for some of the largest financial frauds in history. People lost billions of dollars. And most of the time, not because they were stupid, but because the projects look like logical, polished, and extremely convincing. Today, 5 of the biggest scams in crypto history. Not just a list, but real stories of how it all actually happened. OneCoin, the crypto that never existed, 2014-2017. The story of OneCoin doesn't start with the technology. It starts with charisma. At the center of the project was Ruža Ignatova, a Bulgarian national raised and educated in Germany with a degree from Oxford and a background in consulting. She spoke confidently about the future of finance and called herself the crypto queen. OneCoin launched in 2014 and was marketed as a better Bitcoin, faster, more accessible for everyday people. The project was promoted aggressively offline, conferences, arenas, stadiums, thousands of people in the audience. The core model was MLM. The more people you brought in, the more you earned. People were not sold crypto directly. Instead, they were sold educational packages priced from a few hundred to tens of thousands of euros. Inside, online courses, access to the ecosystem, bonuses in the form of OneCoin tokens. Legally, education, in reality, entry into a pyramid scheme. After buying a package, users logged into a personal dashboard, saw their balance growing, saw a price for OneCoin, could trade on an internal exchange. Everything looked like a real market, but it was fully closed and centrally controlled. Later investigations revealed there was no blockchain, transactions were not recorded, there was no decentralization. Numbers were simply generated on company servers. Withdrawing money into the real world was impossible. In October 2017, Ruža Ignatova cancelled a public appearance in Lisbon, flew from Sofia to Athens, and disappeared completely. According to authorities, investors lost $4–5 billion. She remains on international wanted list to this day. Key takeaway: if you can't verify the blockchain, it's not a crypto, no matter what it's called. BitConnect, guaranteed returns, 2016-2018. BitConnect appeared in 2016 during the first major crypto boom. People were looking for ways to profit from Bitcoin's growth, and BitConnect offered a perfect solution. The project promised up to 1% profit per day, an automated trading bot, passive income without understanding the market. The website was full of charts, percentages, and calculators. YouTube was full of videos. I'm actually getting paid. How people joined: users bought the BCC token, lent it to the platform, received daily payouts. At the beginning, payouts were real. That created trust and strong FOMO. Later, it became clear. There was no trading bot, returns had no real source, payouts came from new participants. A classic pyramid scheme, wrapped into the crypto language. In late 2017 and early 2018, regulators in the US and UK started investigations. In January 2018, BitConnect shut down its lending program and closed the platform. The BCC token collapsed from around $400 to almost zero in just a few days. Investor losses exceeded $2 billion. Key takeaway: if returns are stable and guaranteed, the risk is simply being hidden. PlusToken appeared in 2018, mostly in China and Southeast Asia. And the most dangerous part, it didn't look like a scam. PlusToken looked like a regular mobile crypto service. Clean interface, support for BTC, Ethereum, EOS and more. Basic crypto storage. And one extra feature that lowered people's guard: a small yield for holding funds, no aggressive marketing, no talk of crazy multipliers, just a calm financial service. Users downloaded the app, transferred crypto, saw their balance slowly grow, recommended it to a friend. For many, PlusToken wasn't an investment, it was just a convenient service with a bonus. This is the critical detail. The yield wasn't generated by trading, wasn't backed by real activity, wasn't transparently explained. Payouts came from new deposits and internal redistribution of funds. In mid-2019, withdrawals started to slow down, then stopped completely. The team disappeared, some organizers were later arrested in China, but most funds were already gone. According to analysts, $2–3 billion in crypto assets were stolen. It's believed that the gradual selling of these assets put the pressure on the Bitcoin market in 2019–2020. Key takeaway: if a service promises returns but can clearly explain where they come from, that's a reason to stop and ask questions. Terra Luna, the system that couldn't survive. 2020–2022. Terra is a special case. It wasn't a classic scam. It's a story about a broken economic model. The project launched in 2020. The idea: an algorithmic stablecoin UST pegged to the dollar without reserves. Complex but seemingly logical economics. Around 20% annual yield via Anchor protocol, banking from major funds, strong community, a public founder, Doc 1. UST relied on trust, arbitrage, constant capital inflow. In May 2022, massive withdrawals began. The stabilization mechanism failed. Luna supply exploded. Within days, UST lost its peg. Luna collapsed to near zero. The market lost $40+ billion. And very recently, Doc 1 was sentenced to 15 years in prison on charges related to the collapse of Terra Luna ecosystem. Key takeaway: even without fraud, a flawed economic model can be fatal. FTX was founded in 2019 and in just 3 years became one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world. FTX positioned itself as a clean and regulated player, a partner to institutions, a major alternative to chaotic crypto platforms. Its CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, appeared trustworthy, intelligent, and responsible. FTX had a closely related entity, Alameda Research, a trading firm. Investigation later showed customers' funds from FTX were used by Alameda for trading without user consent. As long as the market was rising, the system held together. In 2022, the market fell. Alameda suffered heavy losses. Information became public. Users rushed to withdraw funds, and it turned out the reserves weren't there. The end. Bankruptcy, criminal charges, losses exceeding $8 billion. Key takeaway: a big brand doesn't replace transparency. All these stories are different, but they all started the same way, with trust without understanding. Crypto gives freedom, but freedom requires responsibility. This was Trustee Talks. Take care of yourself and take care of your finances.